You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
That's right. It's panic room time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's round 15 of the AFL season. I am the horse, and joining me tonight, we've got one very special guest and one even specialer guest. Let's get to the special guest right now. It's Squid. He's back. He missed last night, but he's back for our panic room. How are you, brother?
I'm very good, mate. Yes, it's sorry about last night, ladies and gentlemen, but family calls, so I got to do what's best for them, and they need a bit of Squid time as well. So that's where we go. But tonight, freed up a bit of sketch. I'm here with you, beautiful boys.
Happy days. And ladies and gentlemen, a very special guest with us tonight. His name is Coach Donnie. Donnie Hess from the Des Moines Roosters in the US AFL League has, you know what? He's just here with us. He's here to talk footy. He loves footy as much as us. And I can't wait to get someone who couldn't be further away from us in the world to talk about a sport that we all love and care about so much here in Australia. So, Donnie, welcome to Insight, mate.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's not always easy sometimes being an American footy fan, as I was telling both Squid and Mick off mic that it is 3:30 in the morning right now for me, and I'm up and I'm excited to talk football and excited to reach out and talk to the fans that are sitting down and having a watch of the show.
100%, mate. So as the people know that tune into this show, this is all about the panic room. There's some big names that have been dropped. Jake Lloyd, as we'll get into later on. Donnie is a Sydney Swans man. Phil, I know you're listening, and you're probably sitting there with half or the blood running right through it, actually, knowing that now. But there's a bit more that's going on that meets the eye that we're going to get into tonight. But if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, and the bell. We call it being a triple banger. But also, if you listen to us on audio, give us that 5-star review. It helps us get out into the ears of those that are like-minded, banter-minded, fantasy, SuperCoach-minded people. So without further ado, tonight's show is going to be brought to you by the Standard Squeeze, who are helping you drink responsibly and conveniently. Use the promo code IFS2025 to get yourself 15% off everything in store. Now, before we start this first game, Donnie, 2 minutes, mate. Des Moines Roosters. How long have you been coaching with them for, and how does the setup work in America?
Well, let's see. So the club has been around since 2009. I started kind of fully on coaching after I retired in 2019. Just conveniently, I picked the year before the pandemic to start working. I played for 4 or 5 years and then had a childhood back injury that really started to flare up a little bit more than I would have liked. So I told the guys, I said, I've always been passionate about coaching. So I kind of took an off season and really kind of dove into kind of the minutia of the sport. And it's been a blast. I'm not full-time head coaching anymore. Had to step back, had some personal things go on, but I still volunteer coach and I'm kind of assistant coach. And I've kind of been tasked with the forwards this year, which is fascinating, trying to teach a craft to a bunch of Americans who, some have never seen it, let alone watched it. So sometimes it's interesting, but a lot of the boys are super passionate about it. They start playing it and they get that itch. They play that first game, and I can't tell you how many times they look at me and they go, "Coach, this is so much fun. Why hasn't this been around before?" And it is a very fascinating, fun light bulb moment when they get it. And then you see them and you teach something, and then you're halfway through the year and they're like, "Coach, I know why you told me that." And so it's been a blast. I love teaching the guys up there. We don't get many Australians here in Iowa, so it really has been on myself and some of our veteran leadership to kind of teach the game, because we don't have that plethora of knowledge that many Australians do. So
that's fair. Love that, Squid.
Yeah, big fan of that. I was going to wonder where Des Moines was, but Iowa. So you have no basketball team, no football team, so you have to do something. So that's great that you get into AFL. Love that.
Well, we have college teams, so it's not like we don't have anything. But it's just when it comes to professional sports, yes, we're kind of light in that. We're in that weird, odd area where like, we're close to Minneapolis, but we're not that close. We're close to Chicago, but we're not that close. We're close to Kansas City, but we're not that close. So we're in this really weird area where it's like there is no dominant team when it comes to our professional sports. Like NFL, I mean, I see everything: Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City, Denver. Like it is a little bit of everything when it comes to sports wise. So, but we love our colleges. I mean, if you ask anybody, ask them. If you ask anybody in the state of Iowa, it's either Iowa or Iowa State, and it is brutally vicious sometimes when it comes to the rivalry. Again, a lot like Collingwood, Carlton. When it comes to the footy, we don't like each other. You always want to beat the other team that you support. So,
100%.
So it's Caitlin Clark or get fucked, basically.
Pretty much. I can't tell you.
Hey, Donnie, before we move into teams, mate, is Mason Cox liked?
Yes. He is. I actually had the opportunity of meeting him a couple of years ago at Nationals, and his hand. I shook his hand, and my hand disappeared. That's how big this dude's hand is.
Yeah, right.
But
he plays for Collingwood.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those where it's like he's that face. So a lot of the USAFL players absolutely adore him. He comes over for Nationals every year because both his brothers play. One brother plays for Seattle, the other plays for Austin, and so he runs water for them. So we see him all the time. I know there was one Nationals where Razor Ray came over to help with our umpires, and there was actually a viral video that I think went viral in Australia of Razor Ray on Mason Cox's shoulders.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Deadly could be sitting on Mason Cox's shoulders and still be 3 foot. But anyway, yes, Squid.
Hey, Horse, I'll tell you this right now, mate. I'm pretty glad that Mason. I hope Donnie is being a forward coach isn't showing vision of Mason Cox to the Americans, because then we've got nothing to worry about any more Americans coming over to play football here.
No, Collingwood draft all Americans because they won't be able to kick for goal. But anyway, we're going to get stuck into the show tonight. It is the panic room. Teams have just dropped, and we're starting off with the Fremantle Footy Club versus Essendon 8:10 tonight. So we've still got an hour and a half until it kicks off. We've got a bit of an extended time frame before this game does start due to being in Perth, and much like Iowa, not much happens in Perth. So for Fremantle, we've got Nathan O'Driscoll and James Aish in. Sean Darcy managed. He's out. Sam Switowski, our man Switter, is out. Vigor Vicentini, bello, is in for his debut game, and Ben Hobbs is, I don't even want to talk about him. Told Godstein and Archer Day Wicks has been omitted. Vigo is in for his first game. Squid, straight to you, mate. Luke Jackson, Sol Ruck against Big Vigo. What can we expect tonight?
I think we can expect well in the ruck, but I think everyone's getting a little bit too ahead of themselves with how they are expecting Jackson for tonight. We know that when Jackson goes out of the ruck, he'll play a little bit forward, but he's been playing more midfield. So that's where he's been getting up the bulk of his possessions. Now without Darcy, he's going to be main ruck pretty much the whole time. So I don't know why people are getting so amped up on him for disposals, but either way, not bad, him being in the ruck and being able to get to the floor of the ball. Ground's going to be absolute dog shit. That's 4 games in the last 6 days.
Apparently it's not too bad.
Bullshit. Who's reporting that? WA people? Like we can fucking really depend on them, Horse?
Well, apparently.
Get out the arse there, mate.
From what we hear, it's normally really hard underfoot, and the rain and the traffic that it's had on it has actually softened it up a little bit.
Horse, there has been 200-kilo men running on that ground for the whole last night. The ground is not going to be soft. It is going to be absolutely squished. So either way, I see their point that they're bringing, but also too, let's see how that goes. So I'm I'm going to be waiting and seeing on that one.
When we're talking Fremantle, Luke Jackson, definitely one that I've got the VC on this week. And I did see someone ask, what are your trades this week? Luke Jackson is one of them for me. Caleb Sarong, Andrew Brayshaw, who else? Shea Bolton. I'm expecting to have big games here. For Essendon, if you picked up Zach Johnson last week, you'd be pretty happy with what he's been doing. I'm not a fan of the way they've been throwing Merritt around and Nick Martin. But Donnie, with your knowledge of the Essendon Footy Club, and on this podcast you can only say good things, hey Squid, how do you see this working tonight?
It's going to be interesting. I think that the Frio forward line is going to give them headaches just because, I mean, all of those talls, because of all the injury, all those talls with the lack of the height at Essendon. And I mean, Laverde, I feel horrible for him because he's got to deal with Jayamis. He's got to deal with Josh Tracy.
He's getting 12 on him.
It's gonna be a long day for that Essendon Footy Club backline, and I'm 100% with you. I think Zach Merritt, you lose a lot of his powers, having him play the halfback flanker position, which I know is become this ultimate version of footy nowadays. Ever since they went with the stand rule, the exploding kicking halfback flanker has really become in vogue. I mean, look at many teams that one of their best players, a Lockie Whitfield, a Nick Blakey, a Nick Martin, even with Essendon at times, is that is that gold person. And I think they were trying to get that second person of having Zach there. And it takes away a lot of his powers because he is such a good in the center square midfielder. He gets the footy out. He can use his speed to get out from that. So I'm interested to see with the inclusion of Ben Hobbs, how that goes. Where does he get put out?
Who cares?
What's real setup?
He's probably sub. Let's be honest. Like Darcy Parish is going to get another run in the midfield. It's probably looking like Ben Hobbs, and I'd probably say James Aish is sub. Squid.
I would assume it would be Aish, bringing him back in. Oh, no. They'll go super sub 5. It'll be Fifey, and then Aish might be.
I reckon they might even start Fife and give him a solid 2.5 quarters in this one, then sub him off.
Yeah, this might not be a bad game to do that. So
yeah, exactly right. I mean, if you are right, if it's going to be a game, it's going to be this one. So we'll see. But I think they're really liking the fact of sub as a super sub. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, get that one out, mate. Too sober. Yeah.
I know.
He's sober. It's only late out. It's early evening for him. It's not like it's 3:30 over there for him. So
yeah, that's right. Not like you had to set an alarm to get up in the middle of the night to join us. Hey, Donnie. But we're going to move on to the next game. Geelong versus Brisbane at what we call Alphabet Stadium, Donnie. It's GMHBA and all the other letters you want to throw in there. Ollie Henry is in. Sam De Koning is out for 4 to 5 weeks with that shoulder. Darcy Gardner as deadly picked, and Will McLaughlin. Any relation to the McLaughlin that's in at head office at AFL, Squid?
Well, shit. You never really know these days. Now, do your horse? No. I'm pretty sure he's from Tasmania, isn't he?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm just making up stuff, mate, because I'm really worried about Baz in this game, horse. I don't know about you.
Are you?
Really worried about him because I'm pretty sure, I don't know how up and about he's going to be before the game when they find out that it's white night with all the college atmosphere crowds, and he's going to be pretty flat when he gets down to the ground and he gets the idea of white night misconstrued.
With the real white knight that he would think is white knight. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Donnie, you're an American man, no doubt, into your college football and stuff. Geelong are doing the whiteout this week, much like Penn State.
Oh boy, I heard that on the rush hour when I was listening to it, and I'm like, they talk all this about being a winter sport, and I'd have to look up what was the weather forecast, because they were not.
It's 4 degrees tomorrow night.
Yeah, they were talking. They exactly. They were talking kickoff being like 1 degree. I'm sitting here going, I agree with it. You see more puffer jackets than you are going to see this whiteout, and it's like. With college football atmosphere, it's like you got to remember it is late August, early September when the season gets started. So many of it is it's summer weather over here when it gets started, or at least early fall. So you don't have puffer jackets, you don't have beanies, you don't have any of that. So I appreciate that they're trying to get an atmosphere to it. I just think it's going to fall a little flat. It is cool that they're doing it for Dangerous 350, which is pretty awesome, but I don't know if it's going to have the desired effect that they want.
Especially too, because over in the States, the college crowd for these ones would be what? The average age would be probably 20? In Geelong, it's about 140. So I think they've got the wrong crowd when they're doing this kind of thing.
Yeah. There isn't a student section to chuck them all out into. So yeah,
exactly.
I'm 100% with you. Plus, especially if it's Penn State with a whiteout, it's a night game, which means 2/3 of those students, any of them that are over 21, are buzzed out of their skull anyway. So they're going to be crazy.
Yep, that's Geelong. There you go. Yeah, no better man to lead them into attack than Bailey Smith as well. So we've got a really 0-0 draw in the ruck with Reece Stanley and Darcy Fort there.
Sorry,
and there is tags everywhere, Squid. So we got Jared Berry might tag. We've got Oishan Mullen that might tag. We've got Mark O'Connor that might tag. We've got Josh Dunkley that might go to someone. We've got Tom Atkins that'll probably tag Lockie Neal as well. So when we're talking the fantasy element of tonight, tomorrow night, I don't really like anyone for a VC or C option.
No, I'm with you. I don't like any of them. I mean, look, honestly, it's foolish to go against how well Baz has been playing this year. He's probably the favourite for the Brownlow medal. So being absolutely taking the piss, I can't see why Brisbane would change that with the shit form that they've been in the last couple of weeks. So Baz is probably the only one. I mean, Max Holmes had an unbelievable week last week, but can't really trust that here against Brisbane, where it's an actual AFL team, not 12-year-olds.
Nah, that's all right, mate. It is what it is. So Geelong to win this one, Squid?
Yeah, I'll go on the Catters. Brisbane's form's been too shit.
Yep. I tipped the Cats, and I tipped the Cats in my in after the review show when we tip it. I feel at home. Brisbane I don't like their kicking right. I don't like their kicking right now. They've that Adelaide game. If they kick straight, they win that game, and it's really coming back to bite them. I know they had that lull last year, just before they got absolutely in fuego red hot before they got into the finals. And as a Swans fan, it still gives me shudders. But no, the Cats are so good at home, and I think they're going to be up and about for Danger's 350. I'm interested to see how he gets employed. Plus, Jeremy Cameron right now is absolutely in fuego. Like he took the off time for Dangerfield and has absolutely found his form again. So I just think there's too many weapons for Brisbane to try to cover. You lose Jack Payne, which is like the worst possible time with Shannon Neal finding his form. So I just think Cat's too good. Brisbane will be in it, but I think the fourth quarter it could get interesting if Geelong does what they did to Essendon and put the foot on the throat and just not let them up.
Donnie is my dad, everybody. Go dad from JRD.
Nice, JR.
You're being adopted into the Australian culture. So there you go, mate. We're going to move straight into the Carlton versus North Melbourne game. Your boys, and guess what? Internet is in.
Yeah, thank God we don't have Hurls on tonight, because he'd be absolutely losing his fucking hair right now. So he'll be punching a drywall. Shout out to you, Hurls. Hopefully the wrist isn't too sore tomorrow. But yeah, pitting that in, that's annoying. And also annoying for North purposes, Charlie Curnow is playing. So that sucks. But either way, we've got Charlie Comben back in and Dawson out, because Dawson was fucking awful last week. Good to see Chom back in.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a bit frustrating for TDK owners, because you bought him in to be sole ruck, and now with the injury to Harry MK, who's out till potentially round 20, and then you've got Curnow, who was subbed out with a calf last week. They've gone the dual bigs. I reckon it's more of a precaution because Curnow probably isn't 100% right. And I don't know, Squid. I know you're a North Melbourne supporter and you're not, Donnie, so you can probably give an unbiased opinion here, but I really think North have got a chance of winning here.
Yeah, I do too.
I said on my podcast, if you told me that I had to pick one upset, like one that I had to go against my common thought, this is it, because Carlton,
another Carlton hater. Yes.
Well, no, I'm not a Carlton hater. I just don't like their fades. They have faded in fourth quarter so many times, and this is a North team. I know that. I know Squid's probably tired of hearing the honorable losses, but I thought that Fremantle game, that was one of those ones that you have to take positives out of it. You have to take the honorable loss situation to it, because they played their absolute tails off. Probably should have won that damn game and just fell a little bit short. The only thing that I worry about is that now you have to come from the west all the way back to the east. So who knows how much they've acclimatized to the west when it comes to temperatures. You come to a winter night. The good thing is the afternoon, so I haven't seen the forecast of what it's going to go. But Carlton, I just don't like their vibes. I don't like the way they're playing. They had that great first quarter against the West Coast, and it was like they almost kind of shut off. They were like, okay, we've done enough. Okay, we're done. And then they kind of cruise controlled the rest of the game. And they're not going to be able to do that against North. North is chomping at the bit. I think this is a perfect setup for an upset. I still tipped Carlton, but I said on my podcast, I think this is ripe for North to get an upset here.
Go
North.
That's what I'm like to hear, Horse. Carlton have only played one good half this season. It was the last time that they played North in like round 6. So this is going to be fun.
Honestly, mate, North Melbourne supporter, how do you see this going?
Well, I'm going to be there. So if anyone wants to say good day and have a frothy, just let me know. That'd be great. But yeah, I have a lot of confidence going into this one. I think they're right for the picking. Hopefully they bring the same pressure that they did last week against Freo. And
they played well last week against Freo, especially in that last quarter.
Look, hey, if it didn't piss down for that 15 minutes in the second quarter where Freo kicked 5 goals, we would have won. But, at least they're showing a little bit of guts to be able to turn it on in the last quarter and actually have a crack to nearly steal it. So I like that. And also, too, I blame Callum Dawson. No, I don't do that.
Colby McKercher, bounce back game, mate?
I believe so.
From a SuperCoach perspective, because he had 27 touches last week. So
he did. We got to remember he was on like 25 or something like that off of like 13 disposals, because that was during the wet, and then as soon as he did, like, it became dry again, he got 60 in the last half. So Squid, I feel better if it's you're
getting some love in the chat. Love you, Squiddy, but let them move to Tassie so we don't need 20 teams.
Oh, Reese, I couldn't agree with you more, mate. Make them move to Tassie so I can actually go for a Victorian team and be put out of this fucking misery.
From the skull, the man that this guy played Test cricket for Australia, mind you, Donnie. This accent of yours is making him feel like a hot dog,
which is really weird because I don't really feel like I have an accent. It's not like the Southern accent without the twang and different things like that.
Yes, you do. No, you definitely got an accent. The second you said Jeremy Cameron, I was like, he doesn't know how to say that right. I'm wrong.
So much fun. I'll say this: I have a fantasy league with 9 other Americans up here, and I picked up Colby McKercher in the free agency market. So for me, Squiddy, I hope he has a comeback game, because he had a pretty good game last week for me. I can't remember what he put up for in the fantasy game that I had. I think I could pull it up. I think I pull it up real quickly. He had 87 last week, so
he did all right.
I'm hoping. He did pretty good for me. I was also playing a guy that had like half his team out with injury. So
yeah, mate, you are getting a lot of love in the chat. Let's keep this show rolling. The Carlton forward line's one that's going to generate a lot of chatter. George Hewitt will not play half forward. He will be in the middle. Mitch McGovern. I reckon Jack Silvani might even go forward here, Squid.
Yeah, I mean, Carlton small forwards do normally play good against North. Motlop has a pretty good record against us. I think Fogarty does as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put a medium sizer in Silvani down there.
Yep. And my tip is, because I know it's going to be a small forward as the sub, but I just don't know which one. I'll say Durden.
I think Durden might get a bit of a run against us, but I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah, they're not gonna put the vest on Motlop, unlike what we did to Deadly tonight. Fantasia, okay. No, Essendon legend Orazio Fantasia won't get the vest. Who's going to get it for North?
See, that's a great question. I'm not sure.
Hanson Jr.
I mean, Hanson Jr. was bloody influential in our comeback last week, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets on. Maybe Fish, but yeah, I'd pick one of those two.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. It's Port Adelaide versus your mob, Donnie, the Sydney Swans, the South Melbourne Swans, as you will, playing in Adelaide. Joe Berry comes back. He's been applying his craft at halfback in the sample as well. So potentially look for him to play a little bit across halfback. Christian Moraes is back and Lockie Jones is back as well. Hugh Jackson is out. Ollie Wines is out injured. Alia is out as well. Out for the Swans. Your man, Donnie, Jake Lloyd is out. Tom Hamley has been omitted. Corey Warner omitted. Taylor Adams injured. Surprise, surprise. Matt Roberts back. Errol Goulden back. Tom Papley back. The Amati Party. I'm pretty sure he's American, isn't he, Donnie?
Nah, he's from Geelong boy. Geelong grammar, if I remember correctly.
That's a long way from America. Fuck, I got that wrong.
Jesus.
Tell me about your boys. Why are they going to win this one, Donnie?
Oh, I hope they do, but sometimes when you get games like this where you get 4 additions, as much quality as you see there, I think I know that some fantasy fans are loving Matty Roberts is back, but he's been one of those personally I've been annoyed with as a Swan supporter, but not as annoying as Jake Lloyd. I know several. Oh yeah, I heard BT all the time, even though he annoys the crap out of me because he gives opinions that nobody wants and nobody cares about. Most of the time he's wrong. So that's one of the best parts about having the Watch AFL app is we get the Fox Footy podcast, so I don't have to listen to BT anymore. Yay! So
yeah, but you still get Kelly Underwood and Dermot Brereton and all those fuckheads.
I know. I can't tell you how many times I mute it, and I'm literally muting it and either putting on Triple M or just watching it in silence because it's so much better.
Donnie, one of our co-hosts that's usually on with us, Donnie, is his nickname's Deadly, and he rates the mustache that he has. And just from one of the crew that are watching at home, Donnie has a better mustache than Deadly, and he doesn't even have one.
Yeah, I got the 5 o'clock shadow. I needed to shave, but I didn't get. I wanted to get to bed a little bit earlier last night and didn't get a chance to. No, I love the Errol Goulden edition. I think is fantastic. He has definitely been missing for the Swans. I'm just fascinated to see do they give him managed minutes? Do they run him for 2.5 quarters and then give him the sub vest to settle him? The only thing that was with Papley coming back, kind of the same thing with the heel injury. Do one of those guys get a shortened game just because of that, or does with the fact that literally they kind of have to win to kind of put themselves with an opportunity to make finals? I think they just kind of have to go for it. And if something happens, you know what, we're not going to make finals. That's fine. Hanley comes back in. I know Detoli is impressing a lot of Swans fans in the VFL to the point where I won't be surprised if he gets himself a look before the end of the season goes. So I like the additions. This is still a house of horrors. The Adelaide Oval has not been fun for us. I know that except for gather round when we play the Adelaide teams, it has not been fun the last couple of times over there. The outs of Wines and Alir make me feel a little more comfortable because they don't have that intercepting defender in Alir, which I think has been a pain in the tail for the Swans the last couple of times they've played Port. So I'm a little bit more confident, but I'm still a little leery because 4 ins is a big change. Even despite the quality that is coming into the side with Goulden, Roberts, Papley, and the Armati Party. I'm 100% with you. Tons of talent there. Will you see a little bit of getting up to speed with Papley and Goulden, especially considering they've been out for so long?
Outside of footy, just quickly, I've got an old mate of mine, Johnny Lash. Goulden is a freak, Swans by 15. So I played cricket with this guy like 15 years ago, Squid. And I moved to Bendigo 12 years ago. And he randomly messages me today and goes, "Your horse from the podcast." Yep. So Lashy, g'day to all the lads in Bairnsdale and Lakes Entrance area. Bunch of fucking legends down there. But anyway, let's continue on. For Port Adelaide lads, we've got Vicentini Rosé named in the middle. Butters as well. Essendon legend Zerk Thatcher on Amadi, which means he'll probably kick 10. Pickles has been named. He's been named in the middle. Interesting, though, Squid. Callum Mills named on a wing.
You know me, Horse. I'll never go into the AFL app and trust any of that bullshit that they put on the team there. So
he'll probably be halfback, flanker, or even a back pocket. Be even a back pocket. I know that against Richmond they had him sitting out the back for a lot of the game. Despite that, I know I picked him up in fantasy, and for the first 2.5 quarters, I was like, "Oh crap, this is gonna bite me in the tail." But he started getting more possessions as it went on. But they always name him on the wing, and he always ends out playing some kind of halfback flanker or back pocket. So it'll be Goulden, and then it'll probably my best guess will be either Justin McInerney or Riley Bice will be running that other wing, and then either rotating with Goulden to give him more of a spell, or if Coxie is confident enough that Goulden can go, and they let Goulden just run that far side wing, just so then it's one less rotation to have to worry about.
For those that are dropping comments in the chat, we will go through the teams, then we'll attend to your comments. So we are not skipping over them. We will get to them at the end. Squid for Sydney. I actually think, looking at that, it might be Riley Bice for the vest.
There's a couple of good options there, isn't there? It's tough, especially coming off the bye, but I can't. Can you really do?
It can't be Sheldrick, can it?
I mean,
it'll annoy me if it is, but it wouldn't shock me. Coxie's really liked Gussie's coming off the bench because he does spark. Plus, you can chuck him in the midfield no matter who comes out. But I agree with you. I honestly would almost prefer Bice, because I know when Bice has had the sub vest and come on, he's really sparked the group and really helped out. So personally, I'd rather have Gussie just to be able, because you are dealing with Rosie, Butters, Horn Francis, Willem Drew through the center. I think you're going to need a few more troops to just keep your boys fresh in the center midfield. So personally, I'd go Riley Bice, but Coxie's a stubborn bastard at times, so it wouldn't shock me if it's Gussie again.
He's a big bastard too. So when we're talking big coxes, he's one of the biggest. Port, Squid, is he going to win?
Port.
Are they going to win?
I'm going Port. I just think that they're going to be too good. Sydney's track record in form hasn't been great as of late, coming off the bye. Don't like that either. And most importantly, Phil hasn't been talking shit this week, so Sydney are going to lose again.
Hey, before we continue on, mate, 2 words. Miles Bergman.
Oh, yeah, your man.
My man. I really, really, really like his role. So he's the man they try and get the ball in the hands of down back, but then he goes through the midfield and then he pushes forward and kicks goals. He's got one of the better fantasy games we can talk about, not just AFL fantasy, AFL SuperCoach as well. I still think he's cheap at 460k. Squid. Would you go there? I picked him up last week, but
yeah, I know you did last week. But what I'm going to say is, do you reckon that he'll get that halfback role and be able to run wherever he wants, or do you reckon there's more of a chance of him going to Heaney or Goulden of the like?
Yeah, it's even if he does go to Heaney, he's shown in the past that he can still win his own ball, so I'm not really worried by that.
Granted, this is Isaac Heaney. If Heaney's on his day, then he can absolutely flog him.
I'd be worried with Bergman that they have been rotating both Warner and Heaney at that full forward position, and if you tag Isaac Heaney, one of the biggest things is, unless you got somebody that's as physically strong as him, and Bergman's not a small boy, but I think that gives Heaney an advantage personally. I wouldn't mind that tag, because then you put Heaney full forward. Now he's got to guard one-on-one on Isaac Heaney, and that's going to be a long day. So, and especially if you want his ball movement, I don't know if you tag him. I'd almost go, if you're going to tag Isaac Heaney, you try to see if you can find a way to get Lockie Jones, because it's
Lockie Jones
physically even matchup. My only worry is that does Lockie Jones have the ability to go with Heaney in the air? Would be the biggest question on that. So I wouldn't tag Bergman. I'd keep him off that halfback flanker and then have Lockie Jones go over to Heaney if Heaney is forward, or Warner. So having Jones off of whoever is that big midfield star as that defender on that backside, because if
Yep.
you try to do anything else, I think Heaney or Warner could have a field day trying to go with somebody that they could just physically body up, muscle up, and then just outwork physically. So
Yep, that's fair too. We've got some people in the chat, mate. You earn yourself some subs in the chat, Donnie. They like your footy knowledge, mate. So good to see our community get behind you. And Donnie's Disposals Football Without Borders is his YouTube channel. Get across and give him a sub and show him some Aussie support, please, ladies and gentlemen. And also give this video a thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube as well, so he can go on, what's it called, share this video with his American friends and see that he's kind of becoming a bit of a big deal here in Australia with us Aussies with our great game.
Real quick for those that are following, I truly do appreciate it, and I don't just do AFL. I do also do AFLW, and I also cover the state leagues once a month. So VFL, Sample, and Waffle as well. So I do a little. I do a little bit of everything. I do once a month reviews where we go through the action. We talk about the women's and the men's comps. I have several really great co-hosts that hop on with me, usually about once a month. Sometimes it's a little bit longer depending on schedule, but it isn't just AFL. And then during the off season, I chat with fans most of the time just to be able to keep the footy going, because I know it's not always easy during the summertime for you guys and for the long, cold nights for me up here. Having the footy talk's a lot of fun. So just wanted to let everybody know that it's not just AFL. I talk, like I said, AFLW when that gets going, and then also the state league as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Sure.
It's been a blast.
Horse. I thought we told him he was only allowed to have a short self promo. That's too long. Too much self promo.
It's like we're on Fox Sports ourselves here. All right, we're going to the next game. Collingwood versus St Kilda. Do we have to talk about this game, Squid? Pies.
Pies.
But for Matthew Marquez, I know that he's in the chat. The Viking is in.
Yes.
Alexander Taru is in. Matthias Philippou is in as well. And they decided to throw in an easier name to pronounce, Darcy Wilson. He's the third in. Ryan Burns omitted. Jack Carroll omitted. And for all St Kilda supporters, I know you're jumping up and down right now to see that Zach Jones has been omitted. Let's get into the side. So we know that Rowan Marshall's been carrying a bit of a niggle, Squid. What's going on there?
Yeah, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, Horse. And I would not be surprised if Darcy Cameron really gets on top of him in this game, as I assume Collingwood will probably do. Although St Kilda did beat them last year. So that is one to follow along with. But
it's at Etihad too, or Marvel. Sorry, Etihad was a long time ago.
It's at Marvel. We know how much Collingwood hate to travel. They really, really despise travelling, and that 15 minutes down the road is really going to piss them off. So we can either see them coming out firing, or they'll be obviously a little bit underdone because of all the travel that they're going to have to do, which is pretty unfair on Collingwood, if you ask me, Horse.
I know.
But yeah, I'm just, mate. I honestly, this game could be a lot, and I'm just so excited to see Taru get out there and show what he's got.
100%.
So that's
named in the back pocket as well, mate.
Yep,
love that. No chance of being a sub. You beauty.
Now, Donnie, were you aware that Nick Dacos has been training off half back this week?
Haven't been diving into that as much as possible. Again, he fluctuates because he's one of those almost utility knives. Right? I have to give Fly some credit, is that he had been tagged a couple of years ago and kind of had some struggles, and now they kind of let him kind of, hey, wherever you think you can get loose and get free and make an impact, go ahead. And I like him off halfback because I think then you get a little bit more of his dash and a little bit more of his speed. And with his ability to just absolutely put one right on the chest, lace out, centimeter perfect, to quote the great Dennis Committee, I like him off halfback. Honestly, I really, really do. I love him there, or even on the wing. That have both Dacoses on the wing would be hilarious to me. But no, it's.
Who?
The kid is absolutely fantastic.
What?
How do you say his surname?
Dacos.
No,
Get him, Horse. Get him, Horse.
What is that?
Educate me. Come on, educate me. What am I missing here?
Just call him Flog. That's all right. No, they're both really good footballers, and the old man is probably one of the most humble people you'll come across, the Macedonia Marvel. But in this game, I'm actually tipping Squid. I'm tipping the Saints.
Wow, huge. One thing that I am 100% tipping, the second Nick Dacos goes into the middle, Marcus Windhager, if they think that Ed Langdon did a clamp job on Dacos, wait do you see Windy? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Collingwood supporters all over X. Oh, they hold him all the time. He's getting held. Why don't the umpires pay Nick Dacos any frees?
Oh, it's unreal. It's unreal, but I genuinely think there could be an upset here. Now, when we're talking fantasy relevant players in this game, Nazay Wanganeen-Malera, I just love the way that he goes about it. Please don't get sucked into Mateus Philippou yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're only going to buy him when he is a midfielder. We see Jack Sinclair named in the midfield. I reckon he'll be off halfback with the Wang, Jack McRae, Jack Steele in the mids alongside Ned Long. Nick Dacos is named there at the moment, but as per the footage that we've all seen on social media, he has been moving and applying his craft midweek during drills across halfback. So don't be surprised if you see him down there to try and break that Windhager tag.
I love this one by Darlow. Just quickly, wouldn't be surprised if Darcy Wilson runs with him all game. I don't hate that. I mean, look, Darcy Wilson's not physically demanding on Dacos, but when you talk about someone that can run with him the whole game, that's Darcy Wilson to a T. So I don't actually hate that from him.
Who do you think wins, Donnie?
I tipped Collingwood in this one. I just think they've got a little too much firepower. Plus, I mean, Wilkie can only guard one person, but this is the absolute worst matchup because Mychek's a little too quick. And I just, with their offensive abilities of Wanganeen-Miller and Sinclair, as you said, if Sinclair plays off halfback, it is a matchup nightmare because who do you put them on without worrying about them being a defensive liability? And with everything that's going, Darcy Cameron has surprisingly put himself in discussions of All-Australian ruck.
No, he hasn't. He's good, but he's not that good.
I think he's all right.
I've heard him.
I never said he was bad.
I've heard him in discussions. I agree with you. I think it's Tristan Gieri and Gone are the two
100%
fighting over it. Personally, I think they should both. Be in. I think they both been absolutely magnificent.
Damn right he should.
But I'm also one of those that I actually do a team of the week and do wings. And they'll just stuff a center midfielder there, which annoys the living crap out of me, like they do on the half forward line, which really irks me off to no end that they actually don't let forwards get forward positions and backmen get backman positions. Nope, we got to stuff in center midfielders who've never played either of those positions more than about 2% of the entire season. So no, I just think Collingwood's got too many weapons. They're playing really, really good footy. It is and Marvel, which I think does kind of give the Saints a little bit more of an opportunity, but I'm still I'm leery of this Saints squad because they're just so damn inconsistent. I mean, I know they beat the Cats earlier this year, but this is a Pies team that just they have weapon after weapon up forward. So I have a hard time seeing the Saints win, but I mean, it'd be fascinating if they did.
Let's go Saints. Let's get into the last game, and it's GWS, the Giants, the expansion cup. Second last game, sorry. We've got Tigers and Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's not a game. You're right. Fair enough.
Thank you. GWS versus the Gold Coast Suns in the expansion cup. And in for GWS is James Leake, Ryan Angwin, Jacob Ware, Jake Stringer. That'll do. Toby Green's in too, but as soon as I saw that bloke's name, I'm off him. Lockie Weller, Ethan Reid, Jai Farrar. Alex Davies and Connor Budarick is in. Sean Lemons and Spitz and Swallows is out. Sam Taylor's out with that sore foot, and Brent Daniels is out, and he's hurt himself as well. So that's all well and good. But we move into the team squid. Before we start talking about teams, though, we're going to give a shout out to our man, Ryan from Astute Newstead, who loves Lockie Whitfield. Use the promo code INSIGHT for all your residential and home loan needs. We spoke about this last night. There's a bit of Tom McCarthy about Hamo, isn't there?
Mate, you don't have to tell me twice. I've already been calling Hamo saying congratulations on your West Coast Eagles debut. He can't fool me. I know that that's him.
Yep. Talk to me about the GWS Giants.
This one's a real fascinating, tough game, isn't it? Like the expansion cup, you'd love to see that, but it's just two teams that are just, up and down here and there. And like you'd say, oh, yeah, Energy Stadium, but that's a hole, and the Giants don't even like playing there anyway, so this could go either way. I'm interested to see who does actually come in for both these teams. Like, you'd assume one's Toby Green, but, like, is Stringer the other? Like, do they go size with Leake? Interesting on that one there for the Suns. Like, again, do they go size with bringing in Reed? You'd assume probably Lockie Weller, but, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to if the Giants are able to open this game up and play their fast brand of footy, they'll get on top of the Gold Coast Suns. If Gold Coast can keep it in and under contested footy, then I'm going to give the lean to the Suns. I just don't know which way that I want to go about it. And, I know that. And Supercoach-wise, what do you expect from this game? You cannot make a prediction out of this.
No, you can't. And we're going to have to rush through these next two teams because we've got a heap of questions that need to be answered before everyone needs to settle their Supercoach and fantasy teams or whatever it is that they're doing at home. But Nick Madden, he's got one more game, then the bye, and then Briggs will be back. So bring him in at your own peril. Yes, he's cheap. Yes, he'll get you 80, but you may have a dead rookie on the bench after that. Next is my pod in Jared Witts. I've actually brought him in this week. He's got a really good run home. Took Miller, Finn Callahan, Tom Green, Noah Anderson. You can bring them all in. Sam Flanders, you're not looking at him. Matt Rao is not too bad. Johnny Noble's good for a pod down back. But apart from that, Lockie Ash and Lockie Whitfield are the two half-backs for GWS. Awesome. Let's move to the next game. Donnie, we want you to talk to us about, in as short a time as you can, Western Bulldogs versus Richmond. At the moment, Bustlinger, Jakes, Harms, Caulfield in, with Cleary being omitted. Blight, Mike Kelty Lafou is back. James Tresize and Jasper Alga named. Kane McAuliffe is out injured. What do you think is going to happen in this one, Donnie?
This could get ugly and ugly quickly if the Doggies play up to their abilities. Again, this is a feisty Richmond team that they get after you. They have they have a crack, but man, this looks like an ugly game, and being the last game of the round, I mean, this could end ugly. Like, this could be an 100-point loss if the Doggies play to their abilities.
100%. Squid, Sam Darcy this week or next week if you're bringing him in?
Oh, baby, he could kick a shitload this week. I mean, what's his name? Bolter's out of curfew, so that's good for him. But, yeah, it's still – how do you defend Sam Darcy? Like, his reach when he jumps is at the shot clock in basketball. That's just outrageous. So, yeah, I mean, look, have a play on him early if you want to have a crack. I don't hate it. And next week you can still go win the break-evens there. Either way, love him.
Sam Darcy is our Victor Wembanyama over here, Donnie.
Yeah,
when we're talking,
he's insane. He has a shot in this game to kick 10. If he gets going, he has a shot to kick 10.
Tim English, Toby Nankervis in the ruck. Tim English will probably go large against Toby. He's been giving up massive points this year. Bontempelli, for me, is probably the one that's going to go off the chain. Ed Richards has turned himself into a proper A-grader. Adam Treloar's just making his way back. Now, what we do know, ladies and gentlemen, is Bailey Dale has been named, but there's a little 50-50 around Bailey Dale. So we know here at Insight that he went off the track today with a bit of a calf niggle, and he's only 50-50. So please have your contingency plans in place. He may not play. Just in case you've got him.
There you go,
it is
Mitchell.
a quad for McAuliffe.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's going to do us for the games. We should probably get stuck straight into some questions so I can help the people out at home with what moves they're doing.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
Let's get into it. Welcome the new sword. That's you, Donnie.
Shing.
Do I sell Gawn to Darcy and use the 200K left to move Cleary and Campbell to Gawn next week? Caden Cleary, that would be. You could. Depends if you've got enough to cover your ruck line.
Well, Darcy's forward ruck, isn't he?
Darcy's only forward, I think.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Well, that's
he's only forward. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, then, it does depend if you got that other slot for your ruck, but I don't mind your thought process to be able to get there. So, yeah, I would probably do that, depending on how many trades you have left too. If you have like 3, then fuck that.
Oh, also, I want to shout out Benny G. NRL man he is. He's currently sitting inside the top 3,000 as well for Supercoach.
Oh,
so
nice.
what a man.
If you
rookie
like
coach.
NRL, I'll tell you one thing that I love about that horse, and that's Queenslander.
Squiddy, when did you move into Horse's Dungeon?
Horses get me in here for ages. I just succumb to the pressure.
I feed him water and occasionally give him a tray of food.
Yeah, he normally gives me beer, but he was a cheap ass tonight. That bastard.
What did I get you? Coke?
Coke, no sugar.
Yeah. You gotta watch what you drink, mate.
Whoa. Pot
Donnie, Donnie, have you been to the Field of Dreams?
I have. I actually played. I went when I was younger, and actually they had a pickup baseball game that I got to play in. So that was a lot. I actually have played on the field that the Field of Dreams. It's a very interesting because everybody thinks that it's so easy to find, but it is kind of in the middle of nowhere out in northeastern Iowa. But yeah, it is a really cool place to go. I had a ton of fun when I went when I was younger. So yes, I have been to the Field of Dreams.
Cool. Squid, what trades did you do this week, mate?
Currently, I've gone. I was going to go Kako to, I think it was May, but I went the other one, the other Essendon, Archie Wicks to May, and then I've gone to. I think I've gone to Jackson, but I'm currently tossing up between him and someone, Wits, because that's what you were telling me to do. So I'm 50-50 on that, and I've got an hour to make that decision.
Yep. For me, Sheldrick's out, Gawn's out, and Aiden Johnson is out. And in for me is Tom McCarthy, well aware that he's not playing till next week. Jared Witts is in for me. I really like his run home. And Luke Jackson.
So you're not going to get Gawn back, are you?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
No. Clayton. Clayton was sitting 5th overall in fantasy a couple of weeks ago, Donnie. He's one of the better Supercoach players that we have here in Australia. Des Moines, not far from the greatest place on earth, Knoxville Raceway.
Yep, Knoxville, Iowa is just southeast of here. So,
okay.
I thought Knoxville was in Tennessee.
There's 2 of them.
Why would you do that? That's just
technically, if you go to each state, you could probably find a Springfield, whatever state it is, in almost every single state over here.
Okay,
yeah, but isn't that named after the Simpsons? Don't ruin it for me.
I think that's the reason why they did that, is because then you have no idea what state the Simpsons are supposed to be in. So
yeah, okay. What state are they in?
That's the thing. You never know. I think that's the running joke, is they're in Springfield, and because there's so many Springfields over here that you have no idea.
Oh,
do you know where they're not? Do you know where they're not, Squid? Oh, the Denver Broncos.
That was on my mind too, Horse. We just think like that. You just don't know football, Horse.
Strummy, anyone that wants any concreting done in the central Victoria area, give this man a call. His link will be in our description below. Absolute ripper bloke, and just poured us an absolute beautiful basketball court for my kids here at home. Boys, sorry for the late entry. Been cooking the kids' dinner. Wonder how Hurls is feeling with the shit net in. Yeah, he's not happy.
Would not be happy at all.
Skull, I'm Horse's dad. You're a beautiful, beautiful man, Dad.
You are not Italian enough.
Yes, of us. Yes, whatever. Coxie, hey, mate. Hey, lads, which is the better option? P. Cripps and Hewitt out for... That disappeared. P. Cripps and Hewitt out for Darcy and Mills, or P. Cripps and 350k Rook for Carlton, Hewitt and Mills, or just Cripps to Hewitt and save trades for Whitfield potentially? I think you'd need Whitfield at some stage. I like from Carlton. I don't like Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, so he's getting rid of Cripper, and he's either going Mills or Darcy or Whitfield. Yeah. So, I mean, Mills is a good shout this week with the price that he's at, and Lloyd out. So that obviously makes it a little bit more juicier. Sam Darcy's just elite, and we don't have to worry about Jamara Ugle-Hagan coming back anytime soon. So that's good. But Whitfield's also, fantastic. So I think I would lean I think it depends how many trades you have left. If you had like 7 trades, I'd probably go Mills and then work my way up just to see how he goes without Lloyd. If not, I'd just go Whitfield safe.
Yeah. Darley. Berry hasn't even been decent at the Magoos either. No, he's been applying his trade off half back, but really, I don't know what they're doing picking him. He might even be the sub. Johnny Lash. Yeah, we went through that. Hey, brother.
Mm-hmm.
With the ins for Sydney, how do we think this will impact Sheldrick? Donnie, you're the man to ask.
Like I said, my worry is Coxie loves him being a sub sometimes. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the sub best. But as I said, personally, I would prefer Riley Bice, because I think with the heavies that they do with the depth that Port Adelaide has, I think you're going to need more depth in the midfield. So honestly, I'm hoping that Coxie gives the red vest to Riley Bice, which I think would be good for Gussie Sheldrick, because then he's going to probably rotate in as that defensive side midfielder with Rowbottom. So I honestly think he could have quite the good fantasy week if he's not the sub. If he is the sub, then but if he's not the sub and playing regularly, I think the tackle numbers could be fun when it comes to him, and Jamesy Rowbottom is another one that I think if they're both playing full time.
Donnie, do you know who Kelly Underwood is?
I do.
Do you enjoy her commentary?
She has her moments when I literally go, ugh.
There you go. Same with all of us. Yeah. Pure ecstasy. Hey, mate, can't decide between out Kako, Pedlar, and Brock, in for Madden and Martin, out Cripps, Pedlar, and Brock, in Mills, Pickles, and Madden. I prefer the second one. The first one, Jason Orprez. Yeah, Madden might get dropped, mate. You might have a dead rookie there. So,
just be careful of that. If he's a stepping stone, then that's fine. Like to get to like what Gorn's out or something like that. But yeah, I'd be worried about Madden the week after.
Yeah. Skull, Pendles was playing on Marvel when it was known as Colonial Stadium.
Pretty sure he was there for the start of the build.
Pretty sure he played his 200th game on Waverley. That's how much he's travelled. Corey Blackledge, Aish and Perkins subs. Thank you for that, mate.
Legend.
Now, Donnie, Nizaya Wanganeen Malera. Can you please say his name for us?
I probably am going to butcher it after how you just said it. Nizaya Wanganeen Millera is how I have constantly heard it.
Oh, no, that's not too bad. Yeah,
that's good.
Better than IJ.
That's so true. Way better than IJ.
Yeah. That's the decisive insight in here for Squiddy.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do you want me to say about Suns versus Giants? No one else knows what the fuck's going on with it. I gave a little bit, but what game style is it going to be? So make up your own mind.
Donnie, round 24, we've got members of our Insight community. We've got just over 50 at the moment where we're meeting up at the MCG in round 24. Mm-hmm. And we're going to all Marvel, depending on what the draw is and when it comes out. But there's been a suggestion here that round 24, instead of going to the MCG for beers, we're just coming to your house.
Oh, I wish, but unfortunately I have a small condo, so I don't know if I'd be able to fit too many of you blokes in there. It'd be
Get fantastic. A bigger
one. I definitely enjoy it. It'd be fun. I could chuck the footy. I could chuck the footy on the big screen TV, but
100%.
It'd be great, but I'd be worried you'd spend a little bit of money to get over here. So
it's all right.
Because there's nothing.
Banging on the inside account.
Nothing direct to Iowa, unfortunately. So.
Good luck in the $50 comp this week, Squiddy, from James. He's playing you, mate.
I appreciate you, James. I haven't looked at it, but I appreciate you, my boy.
You're a lot nicer than what I thought you were going to say. Who averages more to finish the year, Jackson or Martin? I've got enough buy numbers. I think Jackson could go absolutely off tap.
Luke Jackson or Nick Martin, I'm going to assume this question is for. So, I would also go Luke Jackson. I don't care if Darcy's in, Darcy's out. Couldn't give a shit. I think it's still going to be Jackson.
Darley, what are you seeing in Witt's horse? I just don't see it. 800-plus scores. He's had a couple of down games. He's got a fairly easy run home. I'm making 180K. There's a lot of games at People First Stadium where he has a really good record. I actually don't mind it, mate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I have to make allowances in my team in order to get it to 23 and then 24. And then I'm hoping I can get a 25th so I can use Tom McCarthy plus. I'm kind of eyeing off, controversial, but I'm kind of eyeing off Patrick Dangerfield at 340k for next week to have a mid-4 DPP as well.
Oh, I like it. I like that horse. Really well said.
Yeah. What VC score would you take if you have the Bont on Sunday? My VC is on Jackson, and if he goes anything over 135 tonight, I'm taking it.
Yeah,
Squid?
I would agree with you there. I have who the hell do I have my VC on? I think I have it on Tristan Sherry, but I'm not 100% on. Yeah, I'll probably go Sherry into Bont, and I'll go 130. Yeah, I'll probably go the same as you, 130 to 135. But then again, Bont's like, he could just take the foot off the gas. It's not like, if Ed Richards has a massive game, he'll just keep on being Ed Richards. So
yep, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Corey, could Dale go out if laid out for my team for Richards? I wouldn't trade Dale. I'd just take the 0 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Nath, can go Carroll and Erasmus to McCarthy and Dogger. Leaves me the 6 trades. Yes.
Yeah.
I would rank 61. This could be the difference, Nath. If you VC Jackson tonight and he's playing against a first gamer and he goes 160, 170, that could be a real power move for you.
Yeah, I like that. Dogger could definitely be, especially if he goes to massive against Essendon tonight, geez, people are going to be frothing from the bit.
100%. We're going to wrap this up. It's up past 7. It's 40 minutes, until the footy starts. Donnie, for the couple of hundred people that we've got listening to us right now, where can they find you on social media or YouTube, mate?
For YouTube, it'd be the Donnie's Disposals YouTube channel. That is where all the podcasts, the video versions of it, for it, all podcasts, platforms, as long as my producer remembers to put them out there. So I have to remind him sometimes. On socials, I am at Coach Hess 40 on most of my socials. I've pretty much set that up to where it's pretty bland. I will live tweet Swans games. I will live tweet footy games when I'm awake. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm not. I know I talked with Horst that I may try to stay up for the Fremantle Essendon game just because it starts here in just a little over a half hour. So I probably will just stay up because I'm already up anyways.
Don't worry, you'll be asleep in 45 minutes anyway watching that game.
It'll definitely be interesting because I know this week will be fun because I think the Swans game starts at like 1:15 in the morning for me. So means the alarm set, and I try to get a nap in before that, which is always kind of my tradition that I do. It starts at 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 5, and it's always fun. So, but it's the life of the footy. It's the life of the footy fan over here in the States. But yeah, so at Coach Hess 40 on all socials. I'm on Instagram, X/Twitter, whatever. I'm on Blue Sky and also on Threads as well. So
we've got that's sort of chopping out a little bit because of the background, but Hurls is at the game right now and he's down near the fence, Squid. And he said the ground is actually holding up surprisingly well. No rain, bit overcast, but no rain.
And he's from WA, isn't he?
He's at the game, yes, and he's from WA.
Can't trust a fucking word.
Squid, we missed you last night, mate, but it's always good to have you here at Insight, mate. Like we know with the newborn that you've got busier times with work and dad life and all that sort of jazz. But whenever you get the chance to talk shit with us, mate, it's not just me. It's the Insight community. Just love having you around, mate.
It's a pleasure, mate. I'll always be here as any time that I can. Family and work life permits. So it's 100%. My highlight of my week.
It's a highlight of mine too. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we finish up, and Donnie, what we do here at Insight, mate, is we're all about breaking the stigma around mental health and that it's okay not to be okay and it's not weak to speak. So regardless of what you're going through, no matter where you are, no matter what time of the day it is, anyone here at Insight within our community, our inboxes are open. If you're not talking to anyone from us, call a colleague, call a work friend, call a family member. call your mum or dad, call someone that you trust. There's helplines out there as well. There's Lifeline, there's Beyond Blue. There's these sorts of call lines, I guess, or people out there that work day and night, 24 hours a day to help you out in your time of need if you are struggling. So if you are going through dark times and those thoughts are getting quite ominous, write them down on a piece of paper. Go for a walk, contact someone, because you are the most important person on this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure to have Donnie from America on our podcast tonight. Please get across, give him a like, give him a follow on the socials, give us a thumbs up so we can show his American mates that we are the best here at Insight. Squiddy, it's awesome having you around too. Enjoy the footy this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you Sunday evening for our review show. We'll catch you then. Peace.
Go Caitlin Clark.